Our world is amazing. As far as we know, we're the only planet in our entire universe that has life. Look around. There's birds flying in the sky, people are walking their dogs. It's incredible. And every year there's hundreds of discoveries. Just last year we discovered the giant tortoise of Santa Cruz. That's beautiful. I can't wait to delve into the history of the entire world. Nothing. Then everything. From absolutely nothing, everything was created. Actually, a common misconception is that the Big Bang Theory was a huge explosion, like a balloon popping. That was not the case. It was more of an expansion, but scientists thought that the term slow expansion wasn't catchy enough, so they got together and came up with the term the Big Bang Theory. And the Big Bang Theory was an excellent name. It created everything in the universe. We aren't actually sure how the universe was created. The Big Bang was just the most popular theory. Some other scientific theories are the steady state theory, which is too difficult to explain, but the basics are this. There never really was a beginning and there will never be an end. The universe is expanding, creating more and more galaxies as it stretches out into the abyss. The only reason why anything was created was because the universe had to balance out its mass. Another theory is the internal inflation. Now this is a theory that's quite interesting because it's practically the exact same as the Big Bang, but this theory says that the explosion never stopped. It kept going on to make more universes. A more common name for this theory is the multi-universe theory. There are some other, more bizarre theories, like we are all a computer program in a machine. Or another popular belief is that
God created this universe, a great almighty being. He molded this universe together with his hands.
There's no real proof to determine how we came to existence, or the universe for that matter. Everything is just speculation for the time being, and we may never figure out in our lifetime the true facts, but we do know a few things.
Space is a vast space, so vast in fact that we do not even know how big it actually is. We can only see so far in space. The distance of what we can see is referred to as the observable universe. The distance of what we can see is 45 billion light years in any given direction. What is even more amazing is that it is not even the end of it. It keeps on going.
Even though we can't see everything in our universe, there's still so many interesting things.
In our universe, I believe that there are 100 billion galaxies, give or take a few million. Just in our own galaxy, there are 100 billion solar systems, give or take a few million. And just in our solar system we have 8 planets. For now, yes, there are only 8 planets. However, there is evidence of 9th planet, not Pluto, but a planet 5,000 times the mass of Pluto, known as the 9th planet. The 9th planet is hypothetical.
However, there is not big interest in this 9th planet. That's because this 9th planet is boring. It's just a big fucking rock. However, there is a rock that has more potential, that could harbor life. The third rock from the sun.
Migration from the inner solar system. That is why the 9th planet is the most interesting planet in our solar system.
The Earth wasn't always like this, beautiful and peaceful. Our Earth is 4.5 billion years old. In those 4.5 billion years, the Earth has gone through many changes.
If you were to examine the Earth, you would notice that certain rocks would be able to tell you how old the Earth actually is. You can easily do this by chipping away at rock and taking that small little bit of rock back to your lab. And in your lab, using that small little microscope to look at that rock and to determine how old that rock actually is. It's quite the process, really. That doesn't really help anybody or give us a deeper understanding of the Earth. I wasted my life studying rocks.
All you need to know, dear viewer, is this. 4.5 billion years ago, all the Earth was a hot ball of rock, and eventually became a cold ball of rock. This process took billions of years to complete. 3.8 billion years ago is when life first appeared. Exciting, right? Well, technically it wasn't really life, it was just bacteria. After the first ice age, real life appeared in the sea. Everything died once again due to another ice age. This time things started to grow in nicely. Wetlands started to form, and a few million years later, those wetlands grew into forests. What happened right after that? That's right, another ice age. After this ice age, nothing wanted to go back because the Earth knew there was going to be, you guessed it, another ice age. However, after waiting a few million years, nothing happened. So the Earth started to sprout grass. After another few million years, it grew more grass and more trees. If you know anything about history, this is definitely the coolest part. The Tyrannosaurus rex was the largest carnivore to ever walk the earth. His diet consisted of pterodactyls and triceratops. He would either hunt for his food or scavenge it, but when he hunted, he was most ruthless. Tyrannosaurus rex certainly was not the largest dinosaur, but it was the most deadliest.
Dinosaurs first started to appear in the Triassic period, which was about 248,785,987 years ago, But the Triassic period actually ended with a mass extinction, because, well, we don't actually know, But if we could guess, it probably would have been of dinosaur AIDS,
Sir, could you please refrain from making jokes?
Oh, yeah. So after that mass extinction, it became the Jurassic period, Funny thing here is that there's actually a movie called
Could you just stick to the facts?
The Jurassic period ended when the continent of Pangaea broke apart.
Way, way, way back, the Earth used to look like this. It was one big clump of land known as Pangaea. But over millions of years, the land began to separate and now looks like what the Earth is today.
This led into the Cretaceous period, During this period, it was very warm. So warm, in fact, there wasn't actually any poles. Therefore, what this means is that global warming is a myth.
Jesus Christ.
Sadly, the dinosaurs could not live forever. What happened next may shock you. They were all wiped out by some sort of meteor that crashed into the Earth and killed all the dinosaurs.
Actually, dinosaur bones were just a trick played by God, and he placed them in the ground just to fool us.
After the dinosaurs were wiped out, the Earth had to recover again, and it did. The forest grew denser and denser, more so than ever before. However, there was another ice age. And then it warmed up. Then ice age. Warm, ice age. Warm, ice age. Warm. It went on like this for a while, until one day it stopped. And someone peeked his head out from behind a tree.
As everyone knows, man evolved from monkey.
No, they didn't.
We know this because you're able to see the change from the skulls of the primitive apes to the primitive humans. However, there still is a part still missing. We refer to this as the missing link.
The missing link is what scientists are still looking for to determine if we actually evolved from monkeys. The human evolution is a puzzle, with the missing link being the last piece.
However it happened, humans came into existence. These first humans are what we call cavemen.
Somehow, these cavemen were able to figure out one of life's most complicated lessons, mating. To this day, there are still people who do not fully understand this concept. After a few million years of smashing rocks together, these humans discovered agriculture. We don't know how, but it was probably by accident. One of the very first things humans accomplished in history was to make beer, which is quite extraordinary because it is quite the lengthy process. What may also shock you is that we discovered beer before the wheel. Priorities, right? Because of this great invention, we decided to write everything down so that future generations would not lose a thing. The discovery of the written language is what led into the Egyptian dynasty. However, this dynasty needed to be ruled by some sort of leader. So a pharaoh was chosen through a series of ruthless trials that today would have been seen as barbaric. The pharaoh, who was reaching his late teens and the end of his life, decided that he wanted to party into the afterlife, so he instructed his slaves to make the biggest tomb ever. He never lived to see it completed.
Brick was used to make the pyramids. The pyramids were designed to last forever, protecting their king's body so they could find peace in the afterlife. Everyone else was fucked.
This lasted for around 1,000 years. During this time, there were many wars. Kings fought kings, armies fought armies. They fought over little things like land, how many children you were allowed to have, and religion. However, one day, something happened.
A miracle. Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem from the Virgin Mary.
Yes, there is proof that Jesus was a real person who lived in that time, but we aren't sure how much is true. Did he really turn water to wine? Or did he just bring a lot of wine to a water party? Did he really have superpowers that could heal people? Or was he just someone with medical training? We don't know. What we do know is that he was crucified.
Jesus was killed by Romans, and many people were angry. These were history's first protesters, people who complain about things but don't do anything about it. After the crucifixion, Rome was taking land left, right, and center. They became known as the Roman Empire, but it did not last and eventually fell because of the barbarians, who were ruthless fighters. Another popular name for this group is
Vikings, and they did a lot of cool things like destroyed the Roman Empire, and they found North America, and they were really good at trading and stuff.
Fall of the Roman Empire is what led into a new chapter of human history, the Dark Ages. This is when wars between knights happened, where courageous men would go off and rescue princesses from towers.
However, there were a lot of problems going on during this time, like the Black Plague. This was a disease that affected people. Some of the symptoms consisted of huge lumps on the groin and arms. These lumps would burst with pus and blood, and then it would become black, and then they would die.
Because of the disease, many movements started to happen in Europe. There was an economic movement, a religious movement, social movement. People just wanted to get out of Europe. One of these people was Christopher Columbus, who got so lost he accidentally discovered a new land, a land that no one has ever discovered before. After years and years of slavery, some Europeans finally grew a brain cell and realized how horrible they were treating some people. However, some people disagreed with this, and it led to a civil war, called the Civil War. The North won and freed the slaves. Kind of. It's complicated. After the war is when cowboys started to emerge, is what we like to call the Wild Wild West. There were train robberies, bank robberies, just plain robberies. This didn't last long because all the way up in the east, they were coming up with trains, planes, and automobiles, ruining everyone's fun. With all these new inventions, it was much easier to get around and kill people, and that's exactly what happened. Franz Ferdinand was killed. That is what led to World War I. It happened because everyone was confused about the whole alliance thing. Therefore, after a few years of horrible fighting, everyone decided Germany lost and had to pay for everything. Germany didn't think that this was fair, so some decided that this would be an excellent time to have another war. Since this was a sequel, they decided to call it World War II. Now, A lot happened during this time. The most important thing is that America committed a war crime. Oh, I mean they won. After this great big fight, everything seemed to cool down. One day, some guy decided that he wanted to go to the moon, so he sent some other guy to the moon. People also can't make up their minds about this. This was the very beginning of space travel. Everything came to a screeching halt in 1999 though, because there was to be an apocalypse, known only as Y2K. Y2K was a scary time for many people. Probably the majority of people around you were terrified of this event. This is when everyone thought all the computers were going to reset to zero and all the electricity was going to turn off for good and never come back on. This was a very scary time.
Humans have come so far from where we started. If there really is someone up there, I bet they would be proud of us. I mean, come on. However, something seems to be missing, a part of history that we just skipped over. It probably is nothing.
Our world is amazing. For me to be talking to you through this television right now is incredible. And look where we came from. We weren't supposed to happen. We were an accident. But we crawled out of the sea and evolved into something great. Into humans that can feel happiness, joy, sadness, even love. We are human. And this was the history of the entire world. Universe was created. Big.
You focused, right?
No.
See, I knew you didn't focus there. No one is able to determine. As you can see, no one. The Earth wasn't always like this, beautiful and peaceful. I was doing this with my thumb the whole time. Way back, Earth used to look like this. Do I like model something?
Oh, I know we could do that if you want. We could do like a weather thing.
Can we have just an Earth like right here and I'm holding it? It looked like this.
Yeah.
Don't go around like that.
No?
Just kind of go like this. Just
a little bit.
You're really suppressing my creativity here. It was one big clump of fuck. What was it? Sheep bent. It was one big clump of land. Land. So to choose a pharaoh. There's an L in there, I swear. Pharaoh. Some sort of leader. So a pharaoh was selected. Pharaoh.
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 Pharaoh. Pharaoh. Pharaoh. Pharrell.
Oh my god.
Pharaoh.
Okay.
So they picked out a pharaoh.
No, you got
This is a made-up word. It's bullshit. Pharaoh. Pharaoh.
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh.
Question mark.
Pharaoh. I'm sweating here. Ruled by some sort of leader. So a pharaoh was selected through many ruthless trials. Okay. This dynasty had to be ruled by a leader. So a pharaoh was chosen through a series of ruthless. You're laughing, and I see it.
No, I wasn't laughing.
I saw that grin and went. Pharaoh. Right? Yeah.
Pharaoh.
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 Yeah. Pharaoh.
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 Yeah.
Bullshit. Fucking so there's the language on the wall led to the dynasty, and somehow Pharrell's there, and then boom, it's done. Like fuck. Pharaoh.
You're good. You're good.
Pharaoh. I'm gonna laugh when I say it. What's that? Did I say that right?
Yeah, Pharaoh.
Pharaoh?
Pharaoh.
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 Pharaoh. Okay. Pharaoh.
A pharaoh
Pharaoh.
was chosen.
A pharaoh was chosen. However, this dynasty needed to be ruled by some sort of leader. So a pharaoh. Pharaoh. Jesus was killed. That's a true statement. Don't even need to practice. After the war was when.
Don't even need to practice.
Franz Ferdinand was killed. Exactly what happened. Franz Ferdinand was killed.
Turn those numbers out there.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Angle. Oh, or not. That's going in the blooper reel.
Is it?
Yeah. And this is where Cole dropped puppets on his face.
I think he's gonna color it. Okay, we're good.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex was certainly not the biggest, but it was the most deadliest.
And
Franz Ferdinand.
From the Virgin Mary, hallelujah. From the Virgin Mary, hallelujah. Okay.
Are you saying hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
No, I can't.
Am I not saying hallelujah? Is that it?
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. It's not hallelujah, it's hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Ale?
Oh, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You know what? Let's
Okay.
just do a take without
Okay.
hallelujah.